What's up, everybody? I'm doing another one. So I just did a, I would say, very heavy song. So I'm balancing it out by doing a PINEGROVE song. I saw PINEGROVE, I guess it was 2016 in Los Angeles, in a venue called the Constellation Room, which is the observatory in Santa Ana. It's a beautiful little room. It's one of my favorite places to ever see shows. I've seen some really good shows there. But PINEGROVE was not the reason I was at the show. I was there to see, I want to say Me Without You. I think that's who was opening for Me Without You. Anyway, I got hooked on their performance, and I picked up their album. I got some merch, got really into them. So I wanted to share some PINEGROVE with you all. So this song is called Aphasia. It's from the album Cardinal, and it is an older one. It's from 2016. Before I get into it, two things to remember. I am not an expert. I'm not a vocal coach. I'm not a guitar teacher, anything like that. I am someone with a dry eye. But this is just what I like, okay? This is me giving my review of things that I enjoy. And it's not meant to be overly critical or overly in-depth, all right? Sometimes I can do a little bit of that, but this is a song that I already know. My second rule is don't be a dick. I find it hard to imagine people like really hating this kind of music because it's pretty chill. It's pretty laid back. But, you know, if you don't like it, that's okay. You don't have to like it. But just let's try to keep things civil. All right. No reason to make any personal attacks. So, with that out of the way, let's get into it. This is PINEGROVE with Aphasia.
So satisfied, I said a lot of things.
Got my coffee.
So long, aphasia, and the ways it kept me hiding. It's not so much exactly all the words I use. It's more that I was somehow down to let them lose. So complicated, I can't wait to get explaining. You're listening to stand it out since I've been crying. So long, aphasia, and the ways it kept me hidden. So long, the silent nerves and hesitant oblivion. Came and sent me out unfurling in the street. And I felt unprecedented confidence in speaking. Stick around, I'm thinking things will be alright. Newly delivered, won't you live with me tonight? Something tonight was such a letdown on my pride. It takes a part of me, it don't gotta take some things in stride. I pace around the place so quiet in myself. Wake the next and see my silence when unfelt. Just when I thought I had this pattern sorted out, apparently my ventricles are full of doubt. Now, things go wrong sometimes, don't let it freak you out. But if I don't have you by me, then I'll have to underground. Not what you got was in your reach is all along. Plus one day you'll be reaching for me and I'll be gone. So to help remind myself, I wrote this little song. One day I won't need your love.
All right, so I have a couple of things to say about this. One of the things that makes Pinegrove so interesting is they're all good enough musicians, and so it's complicated. And I haven't kept up in a while, so it's more complicated. But from what I recall, there was sort of a rotating cast of Pinegrove members. So like not everybody that played on the recording is necessarily touring with them, and the cast changes up. They also tend to rearrange their pieces, right? So what they play live is probably not what you heard on the record because, they already recorded that version. And so they will play the same piece, but they will rearrange it, throw, different instrumentation in, change who's responsible for what part. It's really cool. They're all really good. My favorite memory, probably from this show, was their bass player at the time. I don't know who it was. I don't know if he's still with the band. I don't know any of those things. But I do know that in this song specifically, when the bass kicked in, he had about the best bass face that I've ever seen, and he was really, really getting that neck involved. And that's pretty fun. I love the lyrics of Pinegrove's stuff. I think Evan, who is the lead singer, and I think generally the lead songwriter as well, I think he has a really interesting approach to writing, and I think he has a very honest lyrical style. But he has a very creative and large vocabulary, so you get these interesting turns of phrase and things like that I really appreciate. For those of you who don't know, aphasia is a disorder where you can't get words out. It's not like, I guess it could maybe be similar to stuttering, but it's different. It's a different sort of issue. So this whole song is about, I'm so proud of myself for overcoming my aphasia. I don't know that Evan actually has aphasia. I've never looked. I don't know if he's ever disclosed that, but it's more of a device. I think the aphasia, I think, is a device as opposed to biographical necessarily. Anyway, I really like Pinegrove. If you watched this video, then you are welcome, because I think you cannot help but get into this after you check them out. There's other stuff out there. I'll probably do more Pinegrove videos in the coming weeks. But I wanted to start with this one because it's one of my favorites of all time that they have done. Have a good day, everybody. Stay safe out there. Drink lots of water and be nice to each other.